Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me? I hope you can. Guys, we got some exciting things happening. Let me try to resituate my setup here so you can see my face. Not that you guys want to see my face. So, all right, guys, we got some really cool stuff to go over. So I just recorded a couple of videos. One about Apple's new square sensor. The other thing being Apple ProRes RAW and Davinci. Record a whole video. But then I noticed that the ZR's red files work now. So I was like, fuck this. Let me just go live, because the red RAW coming out the ZR, we're having to go through the red software before to make it work. But now we can open it up in DaVinci after this morning's update. And I'm impressed. It totally heightened my opinion on the Nikon ZR. So let's let the live populate, and then we'll start diving in on this. I'll do how do I do a screen share again? Nope, that wasn't the right button. Bear with me, y'all. Okay, we're back here. Let me figure out how to do a screen share again. Here it is. Nope, that's not it either. All right. This isn't what I needed. Here we go. Boom. Okay. This is what we're going to be rocking and rolling on. Let me bring up another scene here. If I can figure out how to do this. Nope. Not the time to figure out while I'm live. So guys, we'll just wait for, let's try to get, 75 people in here, and then we'll get going. How's my sound work and all that? Are we sounding Gucci? Switch back to my camera here. Let's see. Cam, yep, yo, oh snap, 2 lives back to back this week. Yeah, guys, there's a lot going on. We got a lot. I appreciate it, Logan. I know I had a little mishap there, and I'm probably gonna be in trouble with Nikon, but it was a accident from what I'm aware of on my end. I don't know if anything malicious happened with people hunting my video, but yeah. Basically, I learned my lesson, but for the past couple of years now, every time I upload a video, I upload it as unlisted because, I need time to do my description and everything. But usually I have my title, my thumbnail ready, and then I add it to a playlist. So I think that's how people were finding it, because I didn't know, even if a video is unlisted, if you put it to a playlist, it could be found. So I think that's what happened. Outside of that, I don't think I got hacked or anything like that. But yeah, once I noticed that people were starting to see it, I scheduled it, because once you schedule it, it usually makes a video go private. And then next thing you know, it was on the rumor sites and it was getting views. So I don't know how the fuck it was getting viewed even though it was private. So I don't know what happened, but I'm in trouble for sure. So we'll see what happens. It sucks because, I've been on multiple embargo releases, and I'm still on embargo releases. And, I never had anything be leaked like that. So I don't know. But don't be shocked if shit gets crazy. These rumor sites, what they do is illegal. So, yeah, and breaking NDAs is illegal. So we'll see. Anyways, rather not think about it because it's stressful. Yep. We got Germany up in here today. Possibly. If that's true, then maybe that's Sony's reason too. I don't know. It's crazy. Lumix has been doing it on all their cameras, even their older cameras. It's like, how come these other companies can't figure it out? Yeah, the E to Z adapter is pretty clutch. We got 63 viewers. Let's hope we get, let's get to 65, and then I'll start going through all this footage here. Curious, how big is your hard drive working? I mean, I have the M4 Max or Pro, whatever it's called. So my stuff's chilling. I don't hear the fan spinning up or anything like that. But yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, it's Davinci Day. This is kind of groundbreaking. See, everybody that I'm talking to about this, and, you know, obviously I'm not telling them details, but just asking simply, you know, to other YouTubers, hey, if you upload a video unlisted to a playlist, is there a way to find it? Or I was asking, if you upload an unlisted video, is there any way to find it? Pretty much everybody was saying like, no, not unless you like add it to a group or something. And so, but the way they're saying it, I'm like, oh, I didn't know that wasn't what we're supposed to be doing. So yeah, the Blazar Apex worked amazing on the ZR. It also worked amazing on the Raptor X Z mount with the E to Z adapter. On the Z8, it was been giving me issues. On the Z6 III, it's been giving me issues. So apparently everybody fucking but me knows that if you upload an unlisted video to a playlist, it can be seen. Jesus, I fucked up for sure. Yeah. Oh, did he? So I saw that video too. I thought he uploaded early. I didn't upload early. I didn't mess up that bad. Well, I guess I'm still messed up pretty bad, but is that what happened to him too? Was it the unlisted thing? Okay. All right, guys, let's, Mario's right. Let's look at this footage here. So let's go back to, the DaVinci window here. And, let me just show you guys this red RAW. So first off, go back to my timeline here. First off, the freaking red footage finally can be imported. That was the first big annoying thing that we were running into, was you couldn't even import the damn footage. Why is my shit not? There it goes. Let me just do my anamorphic stuff real quick. These are all 2x. These ones are all... These are all 1.33. Let's change that. Let's make sure these ones are set right. There we go. Now let's just drag and drop these. So you can see these are red files from the Nikon ZR. You see red 3D, 6K. It's not telling us that it's the Nikon ZR, but you guys will just have to believe me. So I can't say what lenses these are. They're not announced yet, but you guys will see there are 2x anamorphics. This issue is not having annoying open gate. Let me make this window a little bit smaller. Let's bring the chat up here. Let me close anything that can get me in trouble here. Okay. All right. How come it's not showing me? Okay. So this is the red footage, and you can see we have our full raw palette here. This is pretty much exactly what it looks like on red cameras. This is really exciting. So you can see we could change our ISO right here. Obviously, this is a dual ISO camera, but oddly, we can access all of the ISO ranges. So that's a little confusing. Like, I'm curious if the, you know, no, there's no way. I don't know. But yeah, so you can see we have all this. It is IPP2. You can see we go to original, we go to legacy, and now IPP2. This is Red's latest color science here. We do Rec 709, and you can see this straight up looks like Red color science. Now, again, we're not going to have the same dynamic range, and you know, we're not going to have the same dynamic range and color fidelity that we get on a Red camera, because, you know, Red cameras, the hardware is next level. There's more power being driven to it. The sensors are more powerful. So we're not going to get the same image quality, but we'll get very similar, you know, colors. But yeah, so you can see we have all of our gamma curves here, and we have all of our log profiles here. We can even go to linear if we need to, or just keep it a log 3G10. We can't change our output tone mapping. I don't know what that's about, but we do have our chroma noise reduction. This is one of the issues let's go on to this shot. So the reason you guys are seeing vignetting here, this is the Blazar Apex 35mm E-mount autofocus anamorphic. So this is an autofocus anamorphic designed for Sony E-mount being used on the Nikon ZR with its great autofocus. This is all autofocus. We're not pulling focus on this. And you can see it's doing its job. They're looking a egg they found from the chicken coop. So, or eating an egg, I should say. But you guys can see this looks freaking amazing. Now let's take off the chroma noise reduction, and you can see there is some noise that starts to populate here and the vignetting. You can see all that noise there. I'm gonna go back. So that's kind of a lot of noise, honestly. And then we can do the chroma noise reduction, and you can see it cleans up the color noise basically on there. Let me reset that. So let's just do our color space. Let's just do Rec 709. We'll do this. Gamma, I guess we'll do Gamma 22. And you can see these colors look freaking sick. Let me reset that. And let's just do a Red log 3G10 to RE transform. And then I'm going to put my Rambler LUT onto here. Red Y gamut, red log, and then RE, and then let's go hunt down my LUT. My folders are a mess right now. Haven't organized them, but let's just do, where is it? RE. So here's my Rambler LUT. So what's cool, we could go into our color temp and our raw profile and our tint, and we can adjust the tint. So you can see I go more green or I go less green. This fucking looks great, guys. I'm blown away by how great the Red RAW looks when you actually are able to import it. So, wow, look at this, guys. This is crazy. This looks way better than what I showed in my video. Again, this is what's annoying with covering embargo products is we sadly get stuck, you know, having no access to files a lot of the times that are software or certain features. So, but we just keep applying this. This was the clip that got pretty noisy. So let's just go to 3200 ISO. So yeah, there's still a lot of noise. I do have Red Raptor Z or Red Raptor X footage in here. That's what this is right here. So this is Red Raptor X footage right here. At 320 ISO, we can go to, I'll take it all the way up to 6400 ISO. And then we could just cheat this by doing an exposure adjustment. So even at 3200 ISO on the Red Raptor X Z,
well, for this being Red RAW,
you can see it's still clean. This is way, way, way cleaner than what we were just looking at coming out of the Red Rap or the the Nikon ZR, Jesus Christ, which is this. Again, you guys can see there's way more noise and it's the same ISO. So, you know, sadly, we're not going to get, again, with the latest Red cameras, we're getting crazy performance out of those cameras, but Yeah, this, oh my God. Guys, look at this. Holy shit, this looks so fucking good. I'm so bummed. I wish if I saw this before the official ZR release, I think my attitude would have been way different in my actual review. But you guys can see this looks absolutely amazing. But there's a lot of noise in here, honestly. Like I see I don't know if you guys probably can't see this through the stream, but there's a good bit of noise. I wouldn't say it looks horrible. You know, I kind of like the texture of the noise, but I like a cleaner bass personally. Even here, you can see all the noise on him. So this is a bummer. It's, I wouldn't say look at that noise. That's bad. That's not great. And no, look, I don't have there's no film grain or anything on there. This is just the noise coming out of the sensor. So even though it looks amazing, you're going to need to do a lot of noise reduction on this. Here, we can just do a noise reduction right here. Let's do a basic one. And then the raw panel's already doing chroma noise reduction, so we don't need to bake that in. But you can see once you do noise reduction, this looks fucking great. Oh my God, I am impressed with this. We're in full quality playback as well. This is a 6K file, 4K timeline. Wow. I'm not sure what lens we were using on this. Let's go look at so this is 4K. So this might be cropped. This might be APS-C cropped and then the Apex 35. So maybe that's where the noise is coming from. I don't know. There's another file. This fucking looks like red footage. What the fuck? This is insane. This is wild. Okay, let me try doing something here. Let's go to HDR panel here. Let's set, where'd it go? Oh, it's right over here. Let's set this gamma to red log 3G10. And let's just lift the blacks in the image here. Yeah, you guys can see what I was saying. Under his hat here, if this was the Red Raptor, the Komodo X, there's some blotchiness underneath here. I don't think we would get this on the Red Komodo X or the Red Raptor Z. Yeah, so yeah, the Red RAW is pushing the limits on the ZR sensor. You can see there's a lot of blotchiness, a lot of noise. Again, on Red's higher end cameras, we wouldn't get this. Let's do some basic noise reduction here. Wow, the noise reduction really helps. But you can see the transition on his hat here. It's blotchy. It goes from dark and there's all these like little blotchiness back into the hat. This is probably going to look even worse through a YouTube stream. But yeah, again, an actual Red camera, all this would be smooth. You wouldn't see any of this granular color breaking up. So yeah, not as good as a Red, but this is getting pretty damn close. Again, you guys are able to see I'm able to change the ISO here. And changing the ISO doesn't hide the noise really. It might lower your black and shadow levels, which can hide noise, but that's not the same thing. Wow. Okay. Fuck. I really wish I had access to all this before my review, because this changes my opinion. Let's and again, the ISO's looking like it's shifting normally. Maybe not as robust as a Red still. Yeah, you can see there's weird that might be my HDR wheels. Yeah, you can see the candlelight in there. There's some weird stuff going on. That's probably a combination of my LUT transform. No, it's in there. That's baked in the footage. That's a little weird. Yeah, there's no way to get rid. I don't know if you guys are seeing that hard transition between the highlights. That doesn't look great. I don't know what this is. Flashing. Oh, this must be flashing like pixels, like dead pixels or something. Simple. Yeah, I'm not seeing a way to get rid of that. I don't recall ever seeing an artifact like that in my Red cameras. That could be the output. I don't know how to change that though. I think I had to change it through So project, camera metadata, red default. Let's see. Let's go back to clip. ProRes premium. That didn't change anything. There's definitely a way to change this. There it is. Okay. So let's just do hyperlog gamma rec 709. So you can still kind of see the highlight banding on there. So let me do the highlight roll off. Let's do none. Let's do very soft. Yeah, none of that's helping. Output tone map. Let's do none. Yeah, that's in the footage. That's baked into the footage, sadly. There's not going to be any way around that. But while we're here, let me zoom out. Let's just apply these settings to this clip. Let's change our white balance back. Output tone mapping. We have low. We have medium. So yeah, guys, I'm pretty confident if you need this as like a C cam to like a Red Raptor, I think this would be able to handle it. Very soft. Let's go back to, let's reset. Actually, let's just copy this over. This isn't set accurately. Let me, actually, I think that's the same clip as no, it's a different clip. I think this is, what stretch is this? I think this is 2x. There we go. There we go. That's better. Yeah, this straight up looks, again, guys, this is why we need fucking OpenGate. Nikon, if you're watching, come on, give us freaking OpenGate. Yeah, you can see when I start stretching the footage, it doesn't look super natural. Yeah, that looks better like that. The HDR wheels, though, are doing something. Let me see. So I do it right there. Let's lift our shadows up as well. If anybody's been interested in how I color grade this, you guys are seeing it. This is pretty much as simple as it is. But yeah, we're getting like those deep saturated yellows that Red's latest color science has, which personally I don't like. I don't like their current color science personally. I find myself having to do a lot of changes to get it where I want it. Fuck, this looks so good, man. Okay. So let me let me come back and talk with you guys here. And yeah, what do you guys think so far? Again, that was all Nikon ZR footage. Let's go into the chat. Sorry, my allergies. They're just, I'm sick of having allergies, guys. They are very annoying. And every time the weather changes, they get worse. Okay. Yep. So yeah, now, and if you guys want to, I could go over the ProRes RAW as well. I did film a couple of clips, or a clip with the Lumix S12, and it works. It worked. It doesn't look as good as this. This Red RAW definitely looks better than the ProRes I've used. I could 1000% confidently say that. Let's see. Yeah, Logan, I agree. For 2200, this footage looks wildly good. For your first like beginner video camera, 1000%, yes, I can highly recommend this. But for if you want more cinema stuff and work with team stuff, I don't think this would be the best camera. I would start with like an FX6 or the Blackmagic Pixis. Probably the Blackmagic Pixis personally. Because the FX6 still isn't like a full-on cinema type camera. Their menus need desperate help. Yeah, it's again, I really wish I had access to use this raw footage in DaVinci before, because this changes a lot for me personally. Yeah, so DaVinci came out with the update last night, I believe, and I did it this morning, and yeah, it's working. Joey, that actually sounds like a fucking great combo. The ZF next to the ZR. Yeah, I'm gonna have to, if Nikon doesn't forever ban me for accidentally letting that video out, I'm gonna see if I can get the ZR now, because this fucking looks great. Red RAW 60-second file size. That's a good question. Let me see. So this clip is almost 2 minutes long. It's in 6K, and the file size is 13 gigabytes for a 2-minute clip. So this bitch is hungry. This is going to be hungry for yeah. So that's the hard thing with this is, like, you know, they didn't give us compression options. There's no traffic. This isn't real red. This isn't like a real red experience, but it is red color science and color depth. But without the depth, I don't know. This is new territory for everybody here, honestly. I'm not sure, bud. I hate external recording, so I didn't even bother to ask or try. I don't know. They're two totally different cameras, honestly. For me, the S1 II is still the GOAT for me. I'm live on it right now. The S1 II has false color, has open gate. It has like 50 slots for like custom LUTs. The menus on it for video stuff is amazing. It has full anamorphic support, the anamorphic IBIS. They're really ahead of everybody. And it's kind of crazy because people really sleep on them. So, you know, I don't recall the ZR having false color. I don't recall the waveforms being very friendly. I know previously on their other cameras, the waveforms were kind of useless. They weren't accurate. I don't know what the hell was going on with them. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, the S1 II is still for me, but I wish the S1 II had Red RAW on it now, because it would literally be a perfect camera. I don't know, dude. I think if you're somebody who's been looking at like a Nikon ZV1 or E1, whatever the hell it's called, this is an easy win over that camera. If you've been looking at any Sony A7C cameras possibly, and you're more video centric, this camera hands down, I would pick this over that. And you can still use, you know, Sony lenses on it. If you, what else is there? If you like the Lumix S9 and you don't need open gate, I definitely like the build quality on this camera a lot more. But outside of that, I don't know. This definitely isn't like an FX3 takeover or anything like that. I have not. It's been crickets from Typoc. They've been ignoring me. I don't know. They want me to do a video, and I told them, I'm like, I could do that, but this is how much it's going to cost. And then they didn't respond. So, yeah. Can we use Red RAW NE from Nikon ZR on any other video editor? I don't know, bro. I only use DaVinci. Can you go from S-Log3 to Red RAW on DaVinci? What do you mean? Like color space transformer? You could go from S-Log3 to Red Log 3G10. You could do that. But no, you can't convert S-Log3 to a RAW. Yeah, I agree. We are really being spoiled here. What about incorporating DaVinci LUTs? I don't know. I mean, yeah, You can use any LUT on it. Cool. I'll do this continuous AF in video performance on Sony Glass. I don't know. I didn't try Sony Glass, but from my experience, the Sony Glass works just fine. But the Blaze R Apex, you know, it's the first autofocus anamorphic, so you're pushing the limits on it, trying to adapt it. Personally, for me, I think the FX3 was great, but I don't know. That's hard because neither of them fucking have open gate. I was looking forward to the, but yeah. There's 119 of you guys in here, so we might as well, let's go over the ProRes stuff real quick. Then we're probably gonna pop off from here. So we're back in Davinci. Let's see. Where did my ProRes RAW shots go? So right here. So this is, let me take the chat off. So this was shot in the Lumix S12. I guess I'll have to do this video afterwards. This is the Lumix S12 H.265 DCI 4K 422 all I. Looks great, right? Kind of has a green tint to it a little bit. So let me just correct the white balance. And you can see right here, this is all I'm doing, cooling it down and going a little bit magenta. Now the next clip, this is, I'm ruining it. This is the Apple ProRes RAW coming out of the Lumix S12. So you can see there's a slight crop. What, that's like a 1% crop or something like that. So not too bad. It doesn't look that different, but I am seeing little things that are different here. One, I'm liking the yellows on the ProRes RAW a little bit more. You can see on the H.265, the yellows are a little bit stronger. And then on the ProRes HQ, they look a little more natural, definitely. So that's good. And you can see what I'm doing here. I'm doing a color space transformer. I believe we go into the RAW panel too. I was waiting for Sean to text me back. Let me see if he texted me back yet. He didn't text me back yet. Homeboy's probably sleeping. You can see, compared to the ZR red footage, this is the RAW panel. This is all the options. Then we go to the Apple ProRes RAW from this one too. It's very limited. Incredibly limited. Kind of how I see ProRes RAW, simply, in my mind, this is simply just 12-bit Kodak. This isn't like a real RAW to me. But you can see these are all the options here. We could change the ISO. We could do all of that. Let's see if it holds. Yeah, it's holding a good bit of information. Let's go to 6400. I'm pretty sure Lumix is still baking in some noise reduction in the ProRes RAW, which is cool. Don't mind that. But then let's start stretching it. So you can see this is the ProRes RAW, and then let's stretch the H.265. God, my allergies. So annoying. Sorry, y'all. So this is the H.265 422 all I from the S12. And this, I'm stretching it the same way. Look, I'm going to copy this node, paste it right back onto there. No changes. Yeah, I'm about to pop off here soon. Take allergy medicine. God. So this is the H.265 all I 422. You could see the way that there's haloing between the color transitions. And then when we go back to the ProRes, it's way cleaner. So definitely you can get cleaner color off the ProRes RAW on the Lumix S12. Yeah. Let's look at file sizes. Sorry, y'all. My allergies. God. So the H.265 clip. This is 4K. And the size of the file, does DaVinci not say the file size? Let's go into... Okay, so the H.265 clip is 24 seconds long, and it's 1.2 gigabytes. It's kind of a large file for a 24 second clip. And then the ProRes clip is 25 seconds, and it's 3.6 gigabytes. So it's almost 4 times bigger of a file. So definitely way, way, way bigger files, 4x the size. Is 4x the file size worth what you guys are seeing here? I don't know about that. Let me just real quick go in. Again, I'm still using my RE Rambler film emulation LUT on here. Just lower the exposure down to kind of match with the ProRes clip. I don't know about y'all, but this looks very similar. Again, I like the way the colors hold on the ProRes the ProRes RAW, but it's not enough for me to be like, oh my God, I have to use ProRes ProRes RAW. Now, the thing I really want to see is the red LED coming out of the record player here. So let's just stretch this file here. Let me lift the shadows all the way up, highlights all the way down. So again, these have the same exact LUT on here. So again, I'll copy that node over to ProRes. So you can see the ProRes, it's holding the color a lot better. There's less haloing. Still doesn't look great, but I feel like it looks a little better on the ProRes. Let's just do a RE LUT on here. So this is just a standard RE LUT, so we're not pushing it as hard with my LUT. Yeah, you can see the H.265, the red, there's, you know, blotching happening. But then on the ProRes, it just looks tighter overall. And we are doing color space transformers, so there's only so much I can do here. Let me see if I can. Oh yeah, see, there's a good bit of other information in there. So you see, if we do a color space transformer, do saturation, compression, it could kind of hold back some of that color peaking we're having on there. So let me go back to now that I'm dying from an allergy attack. Yeah, I need Benadryl, but Benadryl without the lethargic whatever it's called. Guys, I'm dying. I can't breathe. Let me just go through the chat here, then we're going to pop off. But I really see the ZR as a gluten-free 100 RF. No, I'm kidding. A Fujifilm GFX 100 RF for videography. Yeah, that's kind of a unique take. I can see that. So yes, guys, again, what we're looking at, the red RAW files from the Nikon ZR now work in DaVinci, and I am incredibly impressed. And now DaVinci supporting ProRes RAW. Very, very, very exciting. But as you guys just saw, I don't know if it's really worth using. It looks great and it works, and it gives you a tiny bit more color information if you're stretching your image. But outside of that, I don't know. Did you get anything about OpenGate? No, I don't think we're gonna get it. I don't think Nikon's gonna give us it. Their verbiage around it just sounds like they're flirting and like keeping us on the hook for it. But if they do it, I don't expect it to happen anytime soon. So if they actually give us OpenGate on the Nikon ZR, I will use it. I would buy it myself. There's nothing that's better than the price performance ratio. That's it. Plenty of other options. I mean, Brandon, in reality, every camera that's coming out now, you can use it. You could get a crazy high quality image out of it. So at this point, it's coming down to what specific features you need and hardware. Yeah, the giant display on it is gorgeous. I'm not sure on that one. I'm seeing comments get deleted. This shit is wild. What comments? Did you just remove your own comment? Bro, I don't know what you're talking about. You're seeing me live here. Show you the thing. I'm not deleting anything, so I don't know what you're talking about. Finally, ProRes RAW and DaVinci Resolve. Yeah, it's pretty. I'm impressed, but again, I still don't give a fuck about ProRes RAW, honestly. I don't think it's robust enough. Like you guys, again, this is Nikon RAW footage, or this is a red RAW footage coming out of the Nikon ZR. You guys can see a pretty damn big difference in my opinion. Oh, I don't have screen recording on, but yeah. Does ProRes RAW fully bypass the in-camera processing and sharpening, right? I don't think so. I think we're still seeing some noise reduction happening on the ProRes RAW. So again, that's what I'm saying. I don't think it's like true RAW. I think it's like a 12-bit Kodak, basically, with some RAW features. I will start using my GH7 more. Video assist adds up. Yeah. Less chromatic aberration in ProRes RAW. David, that's not how it works. Chromatic aberration is caused by the lens, and that's hitting the sensor. Chromatic aberration, I believe, is the different like channels of color, like the different rays of color, the spectrum of light. When it goes through a lens and it doesn't hit the sensor perfectly aligned, it creates dead spots, and those dead spots, the sensor, is just making up other information. I believe that's what chromatic aberrations are. So, that's getting baked onto the sensor. RAW's not going to help that. Autofocus on the ZR was just as good as the Z8 and Z6 III, which is pretty damn good. I would say it's better than the Lumix autofocus in terms of object tracking. I cannot even imagine having to do that throughout the day. I don't know what you're talking about. On all of my mirrorless cameras, I have to, practically take them apart to get the SD cards out. I'm used to that personally. That's not a biggie for me. And personally, for $2,000, I wouldn't buy a camera thinking, oh, the SD card's annoying. Like, I don't know. Yep, different strokes for different folks. So earlier in the stream, we went over the Nikon ZR Red RAW and DaVinci, and then the last half we just went over the ProRes RAW coming out of the Lumix S1 II. Yep, yeah, Lumix packs in a lot of like cinema camera type features into their mirrorless cameras. They are literally swinging up. They are, they're. Of course, they're the underdog, so they're doing more. We got Jamie Finn up in the house. What's up, brother? I think you just released a video too, didn't you? I need to go watch it. Yeah, guys, sorry for all the sniffles, my allergies, and now my stomach's growling. I need food. Yeah, I need Benadryl. Do you think that Resolve is ever going to be able to decode more than ProRes RAW Final Cut can? I'm not sure what you're referring to because I don't use Final Cut. Jamie, regarding the next Sony drop, I mean, everybody's at Condo right now. I got one of the later invites, so part of me was like, I don't know if they actually want me to be there. But the other part is last year, no hate on Sony. I'm homies with one of the Sony reps, and I adored that guy, and he has all my respect. And I love Sony cameras. But they are starting to do some things where I'm kind of getting the ick from them a little bit. But yeah, for Sony Kondo last year, I don't recall them releasing anything crazy while we were there, but I was just getting anxiety because you guys know I like to work. Anybody who knows me knows I don't travel unless I can work around it. You know, I don't like just taking vacations for nothing because I go stir crazy. I need to be active. My ADHD brain's constantly going and I got to keep it entertained. And so that's why I love doing YouTube. So when you go to Kondo, you know, it's rude if you just, you know, take a free flight and then you just leave and go do your own thing. That's not what it's for. And my conscious, I can't do that. And so for me, I'm just like, it's kind of I don't want to say a waste of time, but it's kind of a waste of time for me. And I don't mean for that to come off rude to Sony, but yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's not really for me, but I do regret, you know, not being able to see all the homies. But again, even seeing the homies, it's like, that's cool, but I want to work. So, but yeah, anyways, regarding the Sony drop, I don't know. I feel like if the Sony a7 IV is real, I have a feeling all they're going to do is put it in the A9 III body, put a new sensor in it, and then call it a day. I can't imagine them doing any crazy new features. I don't think they're going to be doing open gate anytime soon. You know, they're on top. They want to protect their money. They want to squeeze out every dollar that they can. So from a business strategy, it would be wise for them to release a subpar camera, knowing that people right now can't afford just to go and switch off of cameras. So maybe they'll buy the new camera, even if it's a minor upgrade, knowing that people aren't going to switch off their system and still invest into their lenses and their accessories and everything. So I think that's kind of what's happening here, sadly. But if you're someone like Lumix, who doesn't have the major market share, you got to swing. And you got to take chances and you got to give us more than people think we need. Still baffled the ZR does not overheat that fast to make it work. Yeah, it was kind of crazy because we were filming in the desert with it and I kind of expected for it to overheat. And at the end of the day, we were kind of like, wait, it never gave us overheating warning or anything. So I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. Maybe it's like a new processor, like similar like what's in my Mac, where it just stays cool. Jamie, you're getting some love in here, brother. Yeah, Jamie's work's pretty fucking impressive. That this is the start of something very interesting. Expect them to drop a lot more cameras. So we have the entire. Yeah, guys, like I think what this, you know, it's so funny because the audience will be like, oh, how can they release this? This is so, they act like this is the last camera ever to be released. That's right. Every half the audience is split like that. I'm like, you dipshits, you really fucking think this is the last camera or the last lens or the last blah, blah, blah. This is simply just a little release for a moment here. So the bigger picture here, imagine if we got some of the autofocus tracking abilities in a RED camera. Or imagine if we got some of the RED capabilities, like the RED traffic system and true RED RAW with compressions and a bigger Nikon body. Imagine a Nikon cinema camera that kind of just, you know, mixes everything up together in one. Like, this is exciting. And I 1000% bet, you know, Nikon's probably going to listen to all the feedback they get from this camera and implement it into feature cameras. And the ZR, with that said, RED might better RAW format compared to ProRes. Well, I think ProRes RAW is 12-bit as well. But the way, you know, the way the RED RAW footage just looked from what we just saw, that looked way fucking better than all the ProRes RAW stuff that I've seen. David, no. It's the same thing, brother. Photos and videos. It works the same way. It doesn't magically change at all. Now, sure, if you had better color fidelity and dynamic range and all that, sure, you might be able to, you know, get cleaner chromatic aberrations, but you're not going to get rid of chromatic aberrations because that's through the lens. Yeah, I think this is a great start. I would say this is baby steps, but it's baby steps forward and not backwards. And that's what's important here. Well, yeah, yeah. I'm never been a huge fan of Nikon N-Log. It doesn't, it kind of has like earthy tones. It looks great, but I've never been like, oh my God, this is stunning. But having this red log and being able to, have a little bit more freedom to push it all over the place, this is what's really waking up the sensor here. Yeah, Ryan, honestly, dude, if they had an open gate, I would 1000 fucking, because oh my God, I would be able to use, my Blazer Apex lenses. I don't know if you guys know the L-mount Alliance low key is a little bit like what Canon is doing with the RF. It's a little bit of a mafia tactic, because if you don't pay in and play the whole game to join the L-mount Alliance, you don't get in. And if you make an L-mount lens, you get sued by the L-mount Alliance. So the L-mount Alliance kind of fucking sucks, honestly. It's a little bit annoying because they are capping the possibilities. So Sony did it fucking right. Sony literally just opened up the mount, be like, here, have all the information, make all the fucking lenses that you want. And then in their cameras, they might be like, oh, you're not going to get the full performance out of it, but you can still use the lens. I don't mind that. That's great. Whatever. I don't fucking care. At least I can still use the lens. So the L-mount Alliance is kind of a bitch to use. And the RF, obviously. This is the issue with Canon. I really want to try the C50. And I think Canon deserves some props for what they did. But at the same time, I don't trust Canon's corporations and like business tactics. It's a little bit, I feel like they care more about the profits than doing kind of what's right for the buyers. Yeah, David, see, Jamie's backing it up here too. Chromatic aberration is a lens distortion where colors don't focus at the same point, causing color fringing. Doesn't matter if it's photo or video. Yeah, he said it a lot more simpler than I did. As usual, I'm long-winded in the way I try to explain shit. Well, Apple is taking half the battery out of the iPhone Air to make it thinner. They're selling the other half on a separate power bank, so that's why, yeah, I don't care about the Air. What's up, Jeremy? It looks like you like hiking. It's a beautiful scene behind you, where that is. The body thicker and added full HDMI plus Obligate. Yeah, I went on a little bit of a rant in my live yesterday, if you guys want to go watch that back, but I'm really fucking tired of these engineers at these companies thinking smaller is better and that it's impressive. This is the huge divide, is you have engineers that work at a lot of these lens and camera companies, and they see a challenge to downsize things and make things, more perfect in terms of sharpness and contrast and blah, blah, blah. They don't have the artistic brain and, the filmmaking brain of, hey, people want more filmic looking dynamic range and colors. Hey, people want more character, but with quality and consistent performance. So this is where the big divide is happening. Because I'm pretty sure if Nikon went around asking us, hey, would you prefer micro HDMI in a smaller body or an extra millimeter in full HDMI? 1000% we are all going to say, fucking throw on extra 20 millimeters on that bitch if it gives us full HDMI. Talk about how I handle storage for such mesh from RAW files. Do you edit off SD? How do you copy? I mean, people have been dealing with massive storage files forever now. I remember my first commercial job, this is like maybe 8 years ago now, Jesus. I was on set doing photography, and I remember seeing the video team had a red Monstro or some red camera. And I remember being like, that's what I want to do. Fuck the photography stuff. I want to fucking make some films. And yeah, they were just transferring onto spinning drives back then, and then directly onto their drive onto their MacBook, and that was with the old Intel processors, and they were able to use it. So with RAW, you get better performance because there's less compression that the computer's having to deal with. I know it sounds backwards, but that's just how it works. But the file size is a bitch. It sucks. So if you're just this is so I had the Red Raptor X. And I was using it on commercial, like fashion jobs and other type stuff that people will never see because they're boring jobs. But you know, the image quality definitely looked better. But I was like, this is all just going to their social media. It's getting played back in 1080p on their website. Even when it went to broadcast and video on demand commercials, it was being played at 1080p. So in reality, I was like, the brand's not going to see a fucking difference if I'm shooting an H.265 on an old mirrorless camera or one of the best cinema cameras that's out right now. And so I'm like, why am I going through the hassle of using a red for these jobs if the results aren't really going to be seen? So looking back, I still think it's kind of worth it because you do see a big quality difference, even if it is being played back on shit platforms. But I don't know. Yeah, Ryan. But just a heads up, just like how we experienced with the Lumix cameras, we never had overheating on them until a few months after the release. So I didn't have any overheating from the day I used it, but that's all I got to use it. So who knows? We got Talbot in the house. What up, brother? Yeah, we got John Mayer. He's going to sing us a song. Just kidding. Yeah, I think moving forward, it's going to be just like Open Gate. If these brands don't start giving us bigger screens, straight to jail. Straight to jail, guys. Yeah, bro, it's already out. It's the Blazar Apex. Jamie says, I have a great idea. How about they get a group of people who actually use these cameras out in the wild and actually use the input they said for creators? Why the fuck don't they do that? Doesn't seem like they do. Honestly, this is why I love Lumix. Now, Lumix has a way, they have like a micro budget to operate on when it comes to, you know, product development compared to these other companies. But, you know, Lumix is, you know, I can't say too much, but I have been in meetings for things, you know, and they're doing it. God, my hair, I got a rat nest back here, guys. God. DJI, I've also been in some meetings for DJI stuff that probably won't be out for another year type shit. So type shit, hey. So yeah, I don't know why these bigger corporations, like they're kind of shooting themselves in the foot by not doing it. It's funny because one of the camera companies, I won't say who, said that creators are emotional and they don't want to work with the emotional people and that they don't need to, and that they could just basically sell cameras without having to work with content creators. So go figure. That's what we're dealing with here, guys. So if somebody comes out with a dud camera, be prepared. They're not going to blame themselves for being insensitive and off the mark. They're going to blame the content creators being emotional. What's your favorite personal camera right now? Lumix S1 II for video. For stills, for like pro work, the S1R2. And then for everything else, it's probably gonna be like my Leica M11 or my Leica Q3 I did get the 28, but man, the 43 just, it's hard to beat. Yep, and here we are, brother. We went over it. Guys, I'm going to dip off here soon. I'm going to order food on here while we're on here. Let's get... I'm craving something. I'll tell you guys what it is. I won't tell you the place. I've been really secretive on where I live and all that just because, you know, I got some hater fans that kind of give me stalker vibes. And I wouldn't be shocked if they would try to stalk me. I'm going to get the hash out. It's short rib hash, seasonal tri-colored potato, short rib, sauteed onion and mushrooms. The mushrooms, I'm going to remove those. A sunny egg and a demi glaze. Oof. Oof. Fuck me up. We're also going to add in Do we do the what the fuck, what the funnel fries, or do the vignettes or baguettes, however you say it? Let's go down the chat. What do I get? Or do I do the rad ass waffles or the little Frenchie? Okay, you guys don't care. We're going to do the vignettes because that berry sauce. Ooh. Add to order. God damn, this is expensive. Jesus. I'm craving it though. Ooh. What the fuck? $40? Nah, that ain't right. What? I fucked something up. There we go. $35, still a lot, but God, I'm hungry. All right, let me wrap up the chat here. Make sure y'all don't see my damn address. Y'all be nasty. Yes, DaVinci supports the ZR's red raw footage now. Ooh, I kind of like B-roll more purely because I feel like I get smaller file sizes out of it. But red raw, no, I think red raw. Let's go with red raw. But Black Magic, their new Pixel 12K, the way that you don't have to use the fucking 12K, you can do 8K and 4K. I'm very excited for that. I hope Red can do something like that because I like Red's build quality way more. I like Red's cameras more. But that new sensor is dope. Okay, cut. All right, guys, cut. Cut has it right. I think the Nikon ZR is a Sony FX2 killer, not the FX3 killer. That thing is still kind of goated. But the FX2 killer, fuck yes. Get the FX2 out of here. That camera's stupid. Get ready, guys. I'm calling it now. Somebody clip this. Someone repost it. We're going to see certain creators using the FX2. And I think secretly they don't like it, but I think secretly they're working closely with Sony. You might see some short films coming out, some projects, and they're going to be championing the FX2. But in reality, I don't think they actually like it. I think they're secretly getting a bag somehow from Sony. I'm not saying who. But I'm just saying if you see any projects and they're championing the FX2 in them, let's just remind them the FTC guidelines, maybe. That's all I'm going to say. Oh, we got Lumix in the chat. So Sean said, we meet with actual users all the time and drive as much into the actual product as is feasible with the current / planned technology that is available. Boom. Straight from the horse's mouth, Sean Robinson, who's a part of Lumix. There it goes. You have the info. Logan, that's funny. The FX2 killed the FX2. I can agree with that. Cut enjoys that as well. The problem usually comes where the requested features / capabilities are just not technically possible with current technology. Yeah, guys, there's been, for instance, the 4x3 on the new Lumix S1 II. I won't take credit for that, but I might take credit for that. I brought that up like a year ago to Lumix and just say how it would help with 2x anamorphics. Now, I kind of wish they did 4x5, not 4x3, because then that will give you a true final 239 out of a 2x anamorphic. But they did it. Like, name another brand where you're like, hey, can you do this and do it? For instance, like OpenGate to Sony and Nikon. Where is it? We're not getting it. Jamie, brother, I appreciate you, man. Hope you got some dope shit coming out soon. Everybody go sub to Jamie. All 89 of you. What happens at Sony Condo? Devil worshipping things. Terry Warfield's just chasing people through the woods probably right now. He's probably not wearing deodorant right now, honestly. I don't know why he doesn't like wearing deodorant. He always his face always has food on it and stuff. Just weird. Kofi's probably breakdancing right now. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know what goes on. I didn't go this year. My butt's tired, so. Yeah, honestly, I was thinking about this yesterday. I really don't think anybody's going to get anything out of buying Ari. You know, you'll get access to their sensors and stuff, but at what price? The industry's dying out in terms of expensive gear. Vignettes. Sean said vignette. That's what we're doing. I'm probably saying it wrong, but vignettes. Last thing, guys. I need to buy a suit and a lens or two for an upcoming trip to somewhere magical. Can't say what, but I'm very excited. And yeah, maybe today I'll go and try to find a suit. My new exhaust pipes comes in. I got a Triumph 1200 Scrambler X, and I got new pipes. So maybe I'll take the new bike out if it doesn't get too hot today and go find a suit. I don't know how the fuck I'm going to find a suit. But yeah. All right, guys. I know y'all are going ham in the chat right now, but I need more coffee. I need my food. So right here, guys, Sean said you definitely had a strong hand and the 4:3 aspect ratio. You hear that? My pip hand is strong. My pip hand is strong, y'all. My pip hand. In reality, Lumix is my pimp because I be using that S12 nonstop. All right, guys. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Let's do our job at staying positive in our space here. There's a lot of tech heads ruining the fun. There's a lot of people wrapping up their identity and self-worth into cameras, and it's really fucking stupid. So let's do all our parts in keeping our space positive and magical and keeping it about the art. We love talking about the gear and the tools, but again, let's remember it's all about the fucking art. So appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Let's see what else comes out this week. Jesus Christ.